Yep.
Hey, you guys. Hey, you guys, it's us. It's April. It's Aprille here with Nikki Woods, and we've just been having some dialogue today about media. So I wanted to just ask her a few questions for you guys, for those of you who are looking to increase your visibility, increase the money that you're making, increase leverage, and how more people can know about you. So for those of you who don't know, Nikki Woods, who is Nikki Woods?
Who is Nikki Woods? So Nikki Woods has spent more than 20 years in media. I mean, my eyes get big even thinking about it. And I've played on some of the biggest fields that there are. I resigned from the Tom Joyner Morning Show. We had 8 million listeners. I was at the top of my game, but I recognized a need for other entrepreneurs, small business owners, authors, experts, speakers, to really get the visibility that they needed in order to build, as we've talked about before, a business that they love and that loves them back. And so, I wanted to really start training people on how to get the traditional media piece of it in order to add that to kind of their marketing mix so that they really could get a lot of visibility in a short amount of time and really change their business.
Thank you for that. And you guys, for those of you who don't know, Nikki and I have played on several platforms together and done several different things. And so I'm excited to be working with her and talking about this media element, because there really is a lot out there. There's a lot to be done. There's a lot out there, and people have so many different questions. Should I hire a publisher? Should I do it myself? How important is it? But I'm not making any money right now. Should I be focused on it? Blah, blah, blah. So it's like, how do you demystify this whole thing? And I think one of the things I love about what you said, what I've heard you say before, was about learning how to become the authority and lead conversations as opposed to just being a part of them. Can you elaborate on the authority piece? Because I think that that's important. I think people are so busy trying to blend in that they're not standing out.
Right. Well, everybody told us, like, about 5 years ago, everybody said you had to be an expert. Right. So everybody, you got social media, you can start spreading your message. So everybody was really, really focused on building an online platform that kind of said, I'm the expert.
Yeah.
And then what unfortunately happened was we all just became experts, which is fine. But at one point you have to decide if you want to be just a part of the conversation or if you want to lead the conversation. And using just social media alone won't necessarily help you rise above all of that noise, help you rise above the crowd. And so when you add traditional media, you can name them. You can name the people that you see on CNN all the time talking about one thing or the other.
Yep.
You can name who you see on MSNBC or, God forbid, Fox News. Even though we love Fox News. I mean, who you see all of the time, and it's less than 10 people, and so I want you to be part of that. I want you to be part of the authority as opposed to just being a part of the expert pack and being a part of the conversation. But you have got to put traditional media in that mix. And like you said, I mean, there's so many opportunities now because when I first started in media, it's like we were 9 to 5. Like we would, it was a 9 to 5 kind of business unless something breaking happened. And then, we had to work overtime, but it wasn't like a lot of hardcore news, a lot of experts, a lot of talking heads. But now we're in like a 24/7 all the time, all over the, internet, regular TV. I mean, there's just so much media out there, which means there's so many opportunities for people who are an expert or an authority in a subject to be featured. And so there really is no excuse at this point that we're in for you not to be able to get media. There's no reason for you can't.
I agree. Listen, I agree wholeheartedly. I think that, and I think media is easy.
It is.
I think it's easy to get. I think, especially if you have listen, everyone should tweet Nikki at Nikki Woods, Nikki Woods. When you said about leading the conversation, it's like decide that you're going to be the authority of the leaders. Like decide that you're going to be of the experts, that you're going to be the authority of that. And once you make that decision, then your moves match that. Your moves should match the decisions that you make. And so it's like, I love this because it puts you in a different mindset. It's like, okay, and something I usually say is when everyone else is zigging, then you zag. It's like, do the opposite thing. So, Nikki, what is the easiest way? Because I say it's easy, and people are like, oh, well, it's easy for you to say. You've already got an audience. Hell, I didn't start with one. I started with 0 people like everybody else.
Right.
So what would you say is like the easiest way for people to get media?
I think the easiest way is, one, to have a system, and we're going to talk more about that in a little bit. But I think the biggest mind switch that I can tell people, and I talk about it every time you see me on a live video or speak from a stage about this, I will tell you, we have got to stop focusing on getting media in order to sell something.
Yeah.
And we've got to get media in order to provide value. Because once you provide value around whatever the topic is, like whatever the value is in the book, or whatever the value is in the service, or whatever the value is, you know, for you as an entrepreneur or an expert, then you'll make the sale.
Yeah.
You know, the basic thing of selling anything is knowing that people don't buy the product, they buy the transformation that the product gives you. And so really, you just have to give them that transformation in the interview. Like, how is this going to change me? What information are you going to do that's going to change the way I look at money, or change how my relationships are, or change how I parent my children, and make it better? And then you know, you almost guarantee that somebody is going to buy what you have to offer down the road. So we have to start focusing on the value piece of it, and not, oh, I have a product that I have to sell and I want you to let me use your outlet to do it.
Like you said, you know, I've heard you say this is a marriage. This is not a one night stand.
Right.
So your relationship, people's relationships with the media is truly a relationship. It's not just, oh, I just want to be on the Today Show, or I want to be on, whatever, Oprah Winfrey, Super Soul Sunday. It's not just a one thing. It's a full kind of map. And for those of you who don't know, Nikki and I are putting on a Media and Money Bootcamp. So we'll post the link associated with this video, but just so you're aware. But we just wanted to continue to have this conversation, this dialogue. And I wanted to talk to Nikki just about a few things that people in my community and Coach Speak and Serve ask me on a consistent basis. And that is, you know, how do you get it? What does that look like? And what should people be thinking? How should you be navigating? So before we go, I'm sorry, Nikki, before we go, what is one thing that you can share with like the how?
So the how is really, you know, putting together that master media list. So all media is not good media. And one of the things that we talk about extensively in the boot camp is, one, how to find your ideal client. Because if you don't have that, then on all levels, you're kind of lost. But then once you do know that, you can start to put together your master media list. So it's not like kind of you just pick a media outlet out of the sky and say, oh, well, this would be good. You know, because you want to have people in the audience that are going to be able to buy whatever it is that you're offering, that transformation. And if they're not your ideal client, then it doesn't matter how much media you get. So that really is like the very basis that you put together. And with any system, you want a process that's going to be repeatable. So you want to put together the list and everything. And then you want to make sure that pitch shows your value. And once you put those two things together, then you are on your way to getting a lot of media.
Yeah. And we're going to be teaching that too inside the boot camp. So make sure that you check it out. And if you think it's for you, then we'll see you there. I hope that this has been helpful for you. Nikki, is there anything else that I'm missing? I know there's tons of things we can talk about, but is there anything else that you want to add before we go?
Well, I just want to say that I think that this probably is a topic two topics that aren't put together a lot. And so one of the things that I have found in teaching media that I wasn't quite connecting in the very beginning was that you really have to show people how they're going to be able to use this to make money.
Yeah.
Because like you said, I mean, you know, in another video, I mean, hiring a PR agency or getting a publicist can be really, really expensive. And so there's a lot that you can do on your own, but it's still involving time and energy. And you want to make sure that it's not going in vain, that you are changing, you know, the money in your business, you're creating more revenue and all of that. So I'm just excited about this marriage of media and money so that people can really, really see how it's going to pay off in the long run. Because we want to make impact, but we absolutely want to make income as well. And
I know that's right.
You can do both, and we're going to show you how.
You can do both. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? You know what? And I have to say this before we go. There's so many people out there that have mastered that media element and they're not making money. So we're telling you, like, there are strategies that you have to do in order to make it work. I've run into so many individuals that have, especially in my line of work, that have hundreds of thousands up to millions of followers, and they're not monetizing. It's because they don't have that piece. So this is definitely two things that you have to marry in order to be successful, especially now when there's so many people doing what you do. So many people doing, you know, your exact job title, you know, entrepreneurial title, whatever it is. There's so many people, and that's really a big deal. So continue to follow this dialogue between Nikki and I with #media and money. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now. Thanks, Nikki.
Thank you.